sophomore technically, who's really popped onto the national scene in the last few weeks. Had a great win against Army just a few days ago, knocking off a ranked wrestler from Army. So this will be a fun and interesting matchup.
So here we go. It's Beau Bartlett, ranked 20th in the country for Penn State, against Anthony Artalona, ranked 18th for the Quakers. So on paper, it's an advantage for Penn, but against Penn State, you're dealing with talented wrestlers up and down the roster.
One interesting component of this match, Artalona, last time he wrestled at 157 pounds, so he's actually down a weight class. Beau Bartlett, a natural 141-pounder, up at 149 pounds, and Artalona in quickly with a single leg and a great finish to go up 2-0 in this match.
Anthony Artalona quickly with a 2-point takedown. Now the escape for Beau Bartlett. It's a 2-1 advantage for Anthony Artalona. Anthony Artalona is a very skilled wrestler in 2 disciplines. He also was very good in Greco. He was 3rd place at his weight at the under-23 World Team Trials in 2019. So he could certainly work the upper body.
Yeah, Artalona is very dangerous in upper body positions. One of the attacks that he has on his feet is an arm spin, which is slightly unorthodox in folk style wrestling, but he does a great job of arm spin to single leg attacks that we see from time to time from Artalona. He's just a very well-versed international style wrestler.
Beau Bartlett from Tempe, Arizona, one of 2 wrestlers that somehow got out of the grasp of Arizona State. Tempe, of course, where Arizona State is located, but he wrestled at the Wyoming Seminary in Pennsylvania. He was 8-3 as a freshman, but a 4-time national champ as a prep with a record of 177-8. Placed 8th in the U.S. Open in high school. You don't see that every day. Experienced wrestlers or college wrestlers, and they see this kid come up and go, wait a minute. His father was a wrestler at Fresno State University, so he comes from some good bloodlines. But Anthony Bartolona's father has some athletic ability as well. He was a football player at Potomac State. His uncle Chris wrestled at Tennessee Chattanooga, so good bloodlines on both sides. And they're feeling each other out pretty well right now with a little under a minute left in this first period.
Yeah, we've already seen a little bit of it, but these are 2 phenomenal athletes at this weight class. Artalona again in on that single leg attack. Doing a good job of getting back up to his feet. Bartlett has got that whizzer locked on his shin there. Doing a great job. Keeping a lot of weight and pressure on the legs. Bartlett, tough defense there to keep Artalona from getting in on that single leg attack.
Pretty good job of countering there by Bartlett. Artalona wisely backing out of that because he could have gotten in a little bit of a dangerous position.
Bartlett in a little bit of a dangerous position here right now as they break back out of it. But Bartlett looking for a little bit of, depending on where you're from, cement mixer, cow catcher, whatever you want to call it, coming out of that Artalona attack.
Nearing the end of period number 1. Penn's Anthony Artalona with a 2-1 advantage going into the second period. The Quakers already smelling upset. It's early on, but we are 4 bouts in. Through the third bout, Penn with a 7-3 advantage.
Now, one of the interesting things we'll need to watch in this matchup specifically, we talked about the weight classes, and Artalona coming down from 157 pounds to 149. Bartlett up to 149 from 141. This is Artalona's first time down at 149 pounds. And that might be tough on him, is that weight cut and making weight for the first time this season at 149 pounds. Bartlett obviously not having a tough time making 149 pounds. So we'll see what that pace looks like in the third period and how Artalona's feeling as we get into that third period. If it's a close match, it's going to be super fun to watch.
Artalona trying to break him down one more time. Bartlett, though, managing to get to his feet, trying to get the escape. Artalona holding on for dear life and pulling him back down on the mat. Nice work by Anthony Artalona.
Artalona doing a good job there on top, and one of the ways to conserve energy is to do a good job of riding on top, and Artalona's really committed himself here, and watching this riding time tick up. Artalona's now at 58 seconds of riding time. He's about to go over a minute here, and we'll go over a minute, 103 riding time.
Outstanding job of bringing him back down to the mat. And now he has that riding time up over a minute with just over a minute left to go in the second period.
And we've got a little bit of a break here at the table. Looks like there's a question about time and timing in the match. Artalona with a slightly unusual mat return there. You don't normally see a mat return done in that fashion in the middle of a match, but it worked for him to get him out of bounds. And Artalona will restart here on top with, it looks like we're resetting to 105 riding time. Although I'm sorry, 105 in the period, but our riding time has now disappeared.
All right, so we go back to the middle of the mat. Very raucous crowd of nearly, maybe over 3,000 here at the Palestra in Philadelphia on a Friday night. Where else would you rather be?
Yeah, it's a rowdy crowd here, as we might have expected going into this dual meet, although I think the Penn State fans were probably expecting something a little bit different from what they're getting at the moment. So probably a little bit on edge here as Artalona riding a 2-1 lead and 1:22 riding time here in the second period. And Bartlett.
And there's the reversal that Beau Bartlett's been looking for.
A really tricky Granby roll type move there by Beau Bartlett to get that reversal. 30 seconds to go here in the second period. Coach Reyna, the Penn coaching staff over here, imploring Artalona to find his way back up to his feet and get an escape.
This is certainly where that riding time would have come in an advantage. Now that riding time advantage has slipped back under a minute. Bartlett looking to maintain this until the end of the period.
Beau Bartlett now taking a 3-2 lead into the third period. A little bit of extracurricular there.
Warning issued to Anthony Artalona.
That's one way to get the crowd fired up. I don't know if something happened there right at the end of that second period, but clearly Artalona was not happy with whatever went on there. So Bartlett,
well, now he's got to
lead.
Focus on just getting out and evening this match at 3. He's got to get the escape, though, to get there.
And Bartlett with that 3-2 lead did a really great job of riding at the end of that second period, but Artalona out, up to his feet, and we're tied 3-3, and riding time not a factor in this third period. So takedown in this period may be the difference maker.
So those of you not familiar, if the match ends up the bout ends up with an even score after 3 periods, we have a sudden victory after that. So we'll let you know about that if we get there. But
yeah,
I believe these two guys are going to fight pretty hard to get a takedown.
Something tells me these two are not going to sit back and wait for overtime to get a takedown here. I expect some fireworks here in this match, and probably some serious leg attacks as we wind our way down to 1 minute to go here in the third period.
Interesting. Bartlett tried to go up top there. I don't think that would be something that I would do.
Yeah, if I'm Bartlett, you know, I feel like I have some momentum in my favor after that reversal at the end of the second period. I don't want to make any silly mistakes by going up top out of the blue and putting myself in a position where I could get in trouble. Bartlett really kind of controlling the center of the mat right now and pushing the pace here in the third period with about 45 seconds to go.
Well defense that time by Artalona. Now Artalona trying to get a leg, so they're both made a couple of shots there.
Yeah, good first attack by Artalona, great re-attack by Bartlett. Neither one of them really able to penetrate particularly deeply and get to the legs. 20 seconds to go here in the third period. We got a couple attacks, but we didn't get anything deep. Artalona doing a little bit of clock checking there, not something you want to see if you're a coach.
Artalona looks a little tired at this point. Bartlett looks fairly fresh.
6 seconds to go here in the third period, so it looks like we're going to head into overtime here at 149 pounds.
All right, so we go into overtime, and as I mentioned before, it is sudden victory. First wrestler to score wins.
And one of the new rules this year is that we changed overtime, so it's no longer a 1 minute overtime and then 2 30-second rideouts. It's now 2 minute overtime before the 30-second rideout, so it's more time to get an offensive attack and win the match from the neutral position.
So here we go. It's overtime. Anthony Artalona.
Both of these wrestlers going to dig deep here in this overtime period to try and get one great leg attack in and find their way to a sudden victory leg attack. Artalona with a high crotch, not able to get to it. Bartlett with a re-attack. Both of these guys wrestling super hard here in this overtime period.
Both of them with decent opportunities, and both of them with good defensive work to stave off those opportunities.
Yeah, both of these guys really do a great job of holding position, and the other guy's getting close to the legs, but not quite deep enough to penetrate in a good way. Bartlett in deep here. Not quite able to get it. Artalona on the first attack. Bartlett dangerous on those re-attacks.
Bartlett almost had the opportunity to trip him up and put him on his back, and that would have ended the match right there.
Bartlett doing a good job again of controlling the center, putting Artalona in danger on the edge there, where he's gonna have to circle himself back in. He does. Both of these guys looking a little tired here as we have about less than a minute to go in this first overtime takedown period.
For those of you who have never wrestled before, 7 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but with this much expenditure of energy, by this point, these guys are exhausted.
Yeah, both of these guys have been high action, high pace the whole time. They've been wrestling through a whole bunch of positions. It's been some tough wrestling for both guys. 20 seconds to go here in this overtime takedown period. If we do go to the ride-out period, riding time will become a factor in those riding time periods. Artalona on leg attack attempt there. 10 seconds to go, not able to get to it. Bartlett with a double leg attempt. Artalona defending that. And it looks like we will go to our first overtime ride-out period.
All right, so this is new, as Matt mentioned, this year. You're going to have riding time. You'll have one wrestler up first, and then the other wrestler have the opportunity, and see where it goes. So it appears that Anthony Artalona will start first in the down position.
So as we mentioned, riding time is a factor in these. At the end of these two 30-second overtime periods, we will have two 30-second overtime periods no matter what. Bartlett doing a great job on top there. Artalona was up to his feet, but not able to escape. Bartlett looks like he's going to ride him out here in this first overtime period.
Artalona was very close to getting out.
Bartlett did a great job there. Artalona was almost out. He pinched Artalona's legs between his knees, managed to hold him down.
So now the task for Anthony Artalona is keep Beau Bartlett down for 30 seconds. But when you're this tired, that is a daunting task.
And interesting, Artalona is going to choose to cut him loose here. It doesn't feel like he could ride him for 30 seconds, so he's going to try and get a takedown. So if this 30-second period ends 4-3, Beau Bartlett will win this match. Artalona has to get a takedown in the next 20 seconds to win this bout. Bartlett, to his credit, doing a great job of pushing the pace. 12 seconds to go here in this overtime period.
Nice work by Bartlett.
Looks like
to
Beau
control
Bartlett
the head
will
there.
take Beau Bartlett with some really smart wrestling there. Did a great job of battling through a tough matchup. Knock off Anthony Artalona of Penn. Just like that, Penn State is back to the dual meet, 7-6.
That was a phenomenal match. Certainly one that we expected to be pretty evenly contested, and you don't get much more even than going to overtime, right?
Absolutely. Both guys really pushed the pace across the board there. Fatigue might have been a factor in that one for Artalona as we got into that overtime period. But I'll tell you what, the moment where that match changed was where Beau Bartlett got that reversal at the very end of the second period and managed to ride that second period out.
So here we go with this, the fifth